Part 1. The Paradox of Seeking. Picture this. You're on a path, and maybe you're feeling a bit unsure of where you're going. The sun is warm, you're tired, and you feel that familiar pull, that longing for something more, something deeper. It's a feeling we all know, right? That sense that we need to find happiness, to feel complete. We chase after it like it's something precious just ahead, thinking, if I can just reach that, then everything will be okay. But what if there's a different way to look at it? A different approach to this journey? The Buddha, a wise teacher from a long time ago, shared a simple story. He talked about a traveler, worn out and needing water. He sees a beautiful place to rest, a shady forest, a clear lake. But he doesn't stop. He keeps moving, driven by something he can't quite explain. Will this person ever find true peace? No, said the Buddha, because until we find peace right here, right now, in just being present, lasting happiness will always slip through our fingers. It's less about reaching a destination and more about how we're present on the journey. It's a powerful message. And it's not just ancient wisdom. Science is starting to see it too. Our brains have this wandering mind. Scientists call it the default mode network. It's like the background hum of our thoughts, always busy with future plans, what's for dinner, worries, will I lose my job, or past replays, I should have said this. Researchers, like Dr. Brewer, discovered that this searching mind, this constant craving for something different, is directly linked to this wandering mind. The more we search outside ourselves, the busier our minds become, and we can often feel more restless, more unsettled. It's not that our brains are working against us, but that they have the potential for both this restlessness and a deep, quiet peace. We can learn to cultivate that peace. So, here's a key question. What if the very act of seeking enlightenment, of striving for some ideal state, is actually making it harder to experience? This is a central idea in Buddhism. Let me tell you about Huineng, a man who sold firewood. He wasn't a scholar or a monk. One day, he heard someone say, "Let your mind be free, releasing all attachments." And in that moment, his understanding shifted. He experienced a profound awakening, not through years of study, but through a simple, deep letting go. It wasn't about finding something he didn't have. It was about realizing the peace and clarity that were already present within him. Imagine searching everywhere for your glasses, only to realize they were on your head the whole time. The Surangama Sutra puts it this way: trying to find reality by thinking about it is like chasing your shadow. The more you chase your shadow, the faster it runs away. Only when you stop and turn toward the light can you see clearly. Not trying to grasp at reality with the thinking mind is what allows for true understanding. This isn't just words, it's something we can experience, and science is starting to show how. Researchers like Dr. 𝐂𝐨𝐦𝐦𝐬𝐞 found that when people try too hard in meditation, aiming for a specific result, it can create more stress. The more helpful approach is simply to be present, to be aware, without any striving. The Lankavatara Sutra advises, if you look for the Buddha with your concepts, you're on a less direct path. It's not about gathering knowledge. It's about seeing things clearly, directly, in this very moment. Scientists like Dr. Lutz have shown how meditation can help us do this. It trains our attention, helping us quiet the mental chatter so we can experience life with more clarity and presence. Importantly, this non-seeking isn't about being passive. It's not about giving up on our goals or losing our enthusiasm. It's about a different way of engaging with life. It's about acting, creating, contributing, but without that strong, unhealthy attachment to a particular outcome. For example, you might work hard on a project, giving it your all, but instead of being fixated on whether it's a success, you focus on the process, on learning and growing along the way. It's about being fully present, with openness and trust, recognizing that the peace, the wisdom we're looking for, is already a part of who we are. It's about walking the path with an open heart, not a grasping hand, understanding that the quality of our presence is the journey. Part 2. The nature of mind and natural presence. So, if constantly searching isn't the key, then what is? What if the peace, the clarity we're looking for, is actually much closer than we imagine? What if it's already here, within us, a natural part of who we are? Buddhism teaches that our minds, at their core, are naturally clear and aware. Think of it like a calm, still lake. But throughout the day, different thoughts and feelings, worries about work, excitement about a vacation, frustration with the traffic, stir up the surface, like wind creating ripples. We get so caught up in these ripples, on the content of our thoughts. I'm so stressed. I can't wait for Friday, that we forget the vast, peaceful depths underneath. It's not that the depths aren't there, it's that we've lost sight of them. This isn't just a nice idea. Scientists studying the mind, like Dr. Haggerty and his team, are finding evidence of this natural awareness. They talk about mindfulness, how our basic state is one of open, effortless attention. It's not about emptying the mind. It's about noticing the space around our thoughts, the awareness that's always present, even when we're distracted. For example, watching a movie. You can be engrossed in the story, but there's still a part of you that knows you're sitting in a theater, watching a screen. That awareness is always there, even when the movie is exciting or scary. Similarly, we can experience thoughts and emotions without being completely swept away by them. The question is, how do we reconnect with this natural presence? How do we return to that stillness that's always available? A powerful way is through the present moment. Our brains are incredibly adaptable. They can actually change their structure and function. Scientists call this neuroplasticity. And one of the best ways to reshape our brains in positive ways is by practicing present moment awareness. It's like any skill. The more we practice, the better we get. The Buddha, in the Bhattacharata Sutta, said it perfectly. Don't get lost in the past. Don't get lost in dreams of the future. Focus your mind on the present. It's not about ignoring the past or future, but about not letting them control our attention, preventing us from being fully here. Researchers like Dr. Lutz have studied the brains of experienced meditators and found something amazing. High levels of gamma waves. These brain waves are like the brain's synchronizing waves, helping different parts of the brain work together more smoothly. They're linked to sharp focus, heightened awareness, and even feelings of connection. It's as if, through practicing presence, these meditators have trained their brains to function in a more integrated, harmonious way. When you're truly present, not thinking about what you have to do later, not dwelling on something that happened earlier, you're not seeking anything outside of this moment. You're simply being. And in that simple act of being, there's a natural feeling of ease, of openness. The present moment becomes a doorway, a direct path to that deeper awareness. So how do we practice this? Zen Master Linji said, "If you want freedom, know your true mind." Your true mind isn't some hidden, secret thing. It's the simple, clear awareness that's present right now, before all the thoughts and worries arise. It's the capacity to love, to create, to appreciate beauty. Those moments when you feel a natural sense of peace, without needing any special reason. The Bahia Sutta gives us clear, simple instructions. In seeing, just see. In hearing, just hear. In sensing, just sense. In thinking, just think. It's not about stopping our experiences. It's about meeting them directly, without adding extra layers of judgment or stories. When you're angry, instead of thinking, "He shouldn't have done that," just notice the feeling of anger in your body. When you're eating, really taste the food instead of scrolling through your phone. When you're walking, feel your feet on the ground. Notice the world around you instead of being lost in thought. This isn't about striving to become enlightened. It's about recognizing that our natural state is already clear and peaceful. Part 3. When life becomes the path. So, we've explored the paradox of seeking and the power of presence. But how does this apply to real life? How do we deal with stress at work? How do we handle difficult relationships? How do we take these insights away from formal meditation practice and into our everyday experiences? How does life itself become the path? The Buddha's very first teaching on the Four Noble Truths emphasized the middle way. It's about finding balance, not getting caught in extremes. Think of it like tuning a musical instrument. If the strings are too tight, they'll break. If they're too loose, they won't make a sound. We need to find that sweet spot, that balance, in our own lives. This isn't just a philosophical concept. It's something psychologists recognize too. Dr. Siegel talks about mind sight, the ability to understand our own minds and the minds of others. He emphasizes the importance of integration, of bringing different aspects of our lives into harmony. It's about finding a balance between work and rest, between solitude and connection, between striving and accepting. Now, it's easy to misunderstand this. Non-seeking doesn't mean becoming passive, doing nothing. It's not about withdrawing from the world. It's about how we engage. The Anguttara Nikaya describes it like a lake fed by an underground spring. The water is constantly replenishing itself from within, even without rainfall. True wisdom, it says, arises from within, from our practice, from our engagement with life. Researchers studying different meditation techniques, like Dr. Feldman and his colleagues, have found that different practices have different effects. Some focus on concentration, some on open awareness, some on cultivating loving kindness. The key is to find what works for you, to find your own balance. Non-seeking means acting without that desperate need for a result. You can still set goals, work hard, but with freedom, lightness. You're not driven by fear. What if I fail this test? What if they don't like me? Or by craving, I must get that promotion. I need them to approve of me. You're motivated by a genuine desire to help, to learn, to grow, to be your true self. So, how do we integrate this into our daily lives? It's about cultivating mindfulness in everything we do. Mindful eating. When you eat, really eat. Pay attention to the taste, the texture, the smell of your food. Put down your phone, turn off the TV, and savor each bite. Mindful walking. When you walk, feel your feet on the ground. Notice your surroundings, the sights, the sounds, the smells. Let go of your worries and plans and simply be present with the act of walking. Mindful communication. When you're talking to someone, really listen. Pay attention to their words, their body language, their emotions. Try to understand their perspective, even if you don't agree with it. Mindful work. Whatever you're doing, bring your full attention to it. Focus on the task at hand, without getting distracted by emails, notifications, or internal chatter. As Zen Master 𝐂𝐨𝐦𝐦𝐬𝐞 said, "Ordinary mind is the way." Enlightenment isn't found in some special, far-off state. It's found in the everyday moments of our lives, in washing the dishes, taking out the trash, talking to a friend. Dr. 𝐂𝐻𝐿 work on mindfulness-based stress reduction, MBSR, has shown how powerful these simple practices can be. He's demonstrated that mindfulness can help us cope with stress, pain, and illness, and improve our overall well-being. And scientists like Dr. 𝐭𝐻 are showing how mindfulness changes the brain. They've found that mindfulness training can improve our attention, reduce mind wandering, and even enhance our ability to regulate our emotions. It's a gradual process of growth and discovery. It's not about becoming perfect. It's about becoming present. It's about embracing life in all its messy, beautiful complexity, and finding the path within it. When we are fully present, life is the path. Part 4. The natural state of peace. So, what does it actually feel like to live from this place of presence, this place of non-seeking? What are the signs that we're making progress on our spiritual path? The Buddha, in the Mahaparinibbana Sutta, described the stages of enlightenment not as dramatic transformations, but as subtle shifts in how we relate to ourselves and the world. It's not about sudden, overwhelming experiences. It's about a gradual deepening of peace, wisdom, and compassion. Dr. Davidson's research on the brains of long-term meditators mirrors this. He's found significant changes in their brain activity, suggesting greater emotional regulation, reduced reactivity, and an increased capacity for empathy. The Dhammapada, a collection of the Buddha's sayings, puts it simply: health is the greatest gift. Contentment is the greatest wealth. It's not about external achievements. It's about an inner sense of well-being, a feeling of ease and satisfaction with what is. These signs aren't flashy or dramatic. They're often subtle, quiet shifts. Increased presence. You find yourself more fully engaged in whatever you're doing, less distracted by thoughts about the past or future. Reduced reactivity. You're less likely to get swept away by strong emotions, less likely to react impulsively to difficult situations. Increased compassion. You feel a greater sense of connection to others, a deeper understanding of their suffering, and a stronger desire to help. A deeper sense of inner peace. You experience a growing sense of calm and contentment, even amidst the challenges of life. It's a way of being, not a destination to be reached. It's about living without that constant striving to get somewhere else, to become someone else. You're simply present with what's happening, with a sense of ease and acceptance. Researchers like Dr. 𝐂𝐻𝐿 and Dr. 𝐿𝐻𝐵 are exploring what they call spontaneous awareness. that state of effortless presence that arises when we're not caught up in goal-directed thinking. It's that feeling of being completely absorbed in the moment without any sense of striving or effort. The Kalama Sutta, a powerful teaching of the Buddha, emphasizes the importance of direct experience. Don't blindly believe what you hear. Find out for yourself. It's about trusting your own experience, your own inner wisdom, rather than relying on external authority. It is the ultimate freedom. And psychologists, like Dr. Hayes and his colleagues working with acceptance and commitment therapy, ACT, are finding that learning to accept things as they are, without judgment or resistance, can be incredibly liberating and empowering. Without judgment means observing your thoughts and feelings without labeling them as good or bad. For example, instead of thinking, "I'm a terrible person for feeling angry," you simply notice, "I'm experiencing anger." Without resistance means allowing your experiences to be as they are, without trying to push them away or cling to them. For example, instead of trying to suppress your sadness, you allow yourself to feel it fully, knowing that it will eventually pass. It's a way of being that's free from the constant need to be anywhere other than here, to be anyone other than who you are. You're simply present, open, and engaged with life as it unfolds. The Platform Sutra, a key Zen text, says, "The essence of your mind is already pure." This doesn't mean that we're perfect or that we never make mistakes. It means that at our core, we have the capacity for wisdom, compassion, and peace. A natural state, not yet tainted by greed, hatred, and delusion. It's like the sun, which is always shining, even when it's hidden by clouds. Our inherent purity may be obscured by our thoughts and emotions, but it's always there. It's not something you have to create. It's something you uncover, something you return to. It's not about adding anything. It's about letting go. For example, instead of clinging to a relationship that has ended, you learn to accept and release, opening yourself to new possibilities. Researchers like Dr. 𝐂𝐮𝐬𝐦𝐦𝐢 are studying self-transcendent experiences, those moments when we feel a sense of connection to something larger than ourselves, a sense of awe and wonder. These experiences, they're finding, can be profoundly transformative. The Samyutta Nikaya says, "Don't cling to anything as I or mine." It's about releasing that tight grip of self-identification. And scientists like Dr. Dor Zeiderman are exploring the neuroscience of selflessness, finding that practices like mindfulness and compassion can reduce activity in brain regions associated with self-referential thought. So, enlightenment isn't some distant goal. It's not something out there. It's your natural state, waiting to be rediscovered, right here, right now. It's the simple, profound peace that arises when we stop seeking and simply be.